I want to tell you a story today about Neil Young, how he came to write one of his most popular songs, and how that song seemed to haunt him his entire career. Now, I don't claim to be an aficionado when it comes to Neil Young's work or his discography, but I do know there is a lot of it. This dude, he loves to make music, and it doesn't seem to me like he likes to be defined by one genre or one style. But the song I want to talk about today, it tried pretty hard to put him in a box, and I don't think he liked that at all. Neil Young has contributed to almost too many albums to count, not even including his solo work. And it seems like even early in his career, he was in too many bands to even keep track of. Well, I guess I'll just dive right into it because it's kind of difficult to even keep track of all the stuff that Neil Young was up to early in his career. So the song I want to talk about is Heart of Gold, and it comes out on the Harvest album in 72, recorded in 71 when Neil Young was only 26 years old. And this is actually Neil Young's fourth studio album as a solo artist. Before this, he was part of Buffalo Springfield, and he is still currently, at this time, in CSNY, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. And if you want to count it, he was part of earlier bands before Buffalo Springfield, and even Neil Young solo and Neil Young with Crazy Horse is technically considered two separate things too. And all of these groups by this point had already put out multiple albums. So Neil Young has been working for a long time, and he's only 26. And this album is a result of that, and also multiple interesting circumstances that sets him up to create such a unique vibe for Harvest. And the circumstances are this, and I'll try to make it brief, but there's just so much going on at this time. Before this album was written in 1970, Neil Young, he puts out an album with CSNY, and he also puts out his third studio album. Multiple tours in between, both solo and with his Crazy Horse band. So a little more electric, CSNY a little more harmony based, right? He's doing all kind of different things. Unfortunately, his wife asks him for divorce at this time as well. So just this all paints the picture into what creates an album that has such a mood like this. Not only is all this going on, he decides to buy a ranch with his CSNY money, place with thousands of acres to just be by himself. He ends up getting into a new relationship, and he's spending more time on this ranch, and he ends up hurting his back on the ranch. He slips a disc. So he's physically unable to hold an electric guitar and stand up and play. He's got this new love. He's got this big country-esque ranch, and all he's physically capable of doing is sitting down and playing acoustic guitar. And there you have it. Can't you hear that? You can hear that vibe on this entire album, and that's why. There is it's not a sadness, but it's a longing and it's a yearning for something. Probably the yearning to be physically capable of walking around. You mix that with love and a yearning for something new. His collaborations at this point were already leading him towards a more country and acoustic environment, and now all he's able to do is play acoustic. The album flies out of him, and it does really well. In 72, it was the biggest selling album of that year, and Heart of Gold is actually his only #1 single in the US. So he's finding all of this new success. Even after being a part of these other successful bands, the sound that people want to hear from him is apparently one where he is hurting and where he's literally injured. Is that cool? Does it make you feel good as an artist when, after putting all of this great work out, the sounds that resonate the most with people or at least the charts, are the ones that are written when you are literally injured and you're not at the top of your game? The answer to that is no for Neil Young. And that is very, very interesting to me, because you can see that Neil Young is already someone who loves to collaborate and make all kind of different sounds. And he has stated that the album that follows Harvest is his worst album in his mind, because now he's in a box. And that's just not his style. And rightfully so, especially at 26 years old. Do you want to keep doing and creating the same style of art now that you know something's successful? When you're 26, you have so much more to give. So yes, what a beautiful album. I mean, it's got Old Man on it. It's got Needle and the Damage Done. Just a beautiful sounding record. But this, to Neil Young, is described as the start of his ditch era, to where he fell into a bit of a rut. You guys like the sound? Here's the sound. But Neil Young seems to always be most creatively fulfilled when he's switching lanes. And that's just how it is. I think there are some artists, especially for me, to where their catalog seems just so broad to where it's almost difficult to dive in. And that's Neil Young for me. But I also think that is very interesting, because if you're an artist, you want to be an artist, right? You don't want to be a magician that has a couple tricks. You want to be able to grow and to collaborate and to create new sounds. And the new sounds that Neil Young ended up creating in his lifetime changed the course of music history. He created sounds and made some fuzzy tones on the guitar that really inspired a lot of people. Yeah, this one was a hard one to dilute for me, because like I said, there's so much going on at this time, and this album it has such a great sound to it. But it seems like it was just a blip on Neil Young's path to something else. And I'm not quite sure whether it was the pain that he was feeling during that time, or just the success itself that kind of made him resent this sound and want to turn away from it. But there's a lot of artists out there that once they find their sound, they want to stick with that, right? They're known for a specific sound, but I think it's very inspiring if you're someone like Neil Young. And it's inspiring to others to want to always be something different and want to always keep moving forward and creating. Thank you for seeing me. Oh. Searching for a heart of gold. Man, I'm getting old. Sad keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Man, I'm getting to Redwood, I've crossed an ocean full heart of gold. I've been in my mind, it's a searching for a heart of gold. Man, I'm getting old. Said it keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Man, I'm getting searching for a heart of gold. Keeps me searching and I'm growing old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart